the sunlight into this receiver and heats these tubes up to 900 degrees Celsius. And so the CO2 inside will expand, and when it expands, it turns a turbine in this. The heat is just rejected out of the cycle. And what we're currently working on is the power portion of this cycle, to get the power out and put power to the grid. So we build all of this ourselves, working with students. So, we work in our machine shops. Yeah, I'm currently testing special bearings inside of this. The other day I ran this at 42,000 RPMs, which is really high speed and rotating machinery.
Or how much power can you produce with this system per day or per hour? Is it already producing it, or are you hoping?
So when we finish with all the components, if everything is running efficiently, about 30 kilowatts. And that's about 100 kilowatts of solar and coming out with 30 kilowatts, so that's 30% solar efficiency. I'm still a couple of years away from that. All right, we'll go look at the hydrogen generation. So I talked about generating hydrogen to mix in with the natural gas. So the UNLV's portion of that project is to generate the hydrogen. So we can generate clean hydrogen with this. We can get power from solar and feed into it. It uses a very little bit of water, and this is a hydrogen cell stack right here. So we use DC electricity, split the water into oxygen and hydrogen. We vent the oxygen and then collect the hydrogen, and then we put the hydrogen in that storage tank. So we're going to take this hydrogen and blend it into the natural gas feeding the test homes, and then test the appliances that are in the test home. So this kind of shows the diversity of projects that we work on. We're working on this at the same time working on the supercritical CO2 side.
Oh, this is full of hydrogen right now. So if you look at the gauge right there. Safe?
This, safety-wise, this is no problem at all. That's a lot of stored energy, right? But we have to follow procedures to make sure it's safe. No smoking. There's, the gas company says, how do we know you're making hydrogen? So we fill a balloon with hydrogen and light it with the That's about the most unsafe thing that we do. Aaron's getting the hair back on his hand. No, that's a big solar tracker that we use.
It's a high concentrated PV, so it uses for now lenses to focus the light on the. I can show you this.
Фокусируют эти лучи и дальше используются. Идемте, вам что-то покажем. Лечение в 500 раз дает вот эта панель или это стекло.
And then we have some test panels
Затем
up
у
there.
нас есть испытательные панели, которые мы установили наверху.
Those were
И
900
там увеличение
concentration.
в 900
There's cells that can take, you know, 1,000 sun concentrations on
мы
them and not
разработали для
melt the
того, чтобы
cell.
они собирали и выдерживали вот эту концентрацию тысячу раз концентрированный солнечный луч и не плыли, не растапливались.
Even though it's 500x, like just
Несмотря на то, что
it's
это
the
меньшая
relationship between
концентрация,
the area
все
of the
равно
lens
мы,
and the
так
area
сказать,
of the cell.
испытываем расстояние между этим
it's like a
концентрирующим
bell curve or a
элементом и
Gaussian
самой
fit.
моделью,
So
самим
peak is
элементом. Мы
actually quite
смотрим,
high.
так сказать,
It's
куда
over
он
1,000,
направлен, и когда мы
1.6.
собираем, в зависимости от того, какое
Or
расстояние между этими
1600.
двумя элементами, мы можем нарастить вот эту концентрацию до 1000 раз. И именно за счет этого
So this is also a cell that we use this type of collector on.
Небольшой элемент, который, но она гораздо меньше той. И мы тоже собираем ее для того, чтобы сконцентрировать солнечный луч.
Instead of, so how does the regional test center?
Ну, то есть это вот из наш региональный центр тестирования использует вот такую модель. Мы используем.
These are big experimental systems right now. In the U.S., it's a lot cheaper to build fixed photovoltaic systems or single-axis tracking photovoltaic systems. So these would not be economical to make big power
Ходят за
generation.
солнцем. То есть с
They're
технологической
strictly
точки зрения
experimental.
она не очень, так сказать, выгодна, поэтому это исключительно экспериментальные станции или системы. Вместо времени они теперь используют несколько элементов.
They use them in space on the
И они
satellites.
используются в космической индустрии.
Expensive cells.
Очень
So this would make
дорогостоящие.
7 to 10 watts.
7 to 10.
Watts, yeah.
Да,
So each,
10 ватт.
so
Это
25%.
мощность вот этого элемента, 25%.
So this system was 25% efficient from light to grid
Система была
electricity.
25%.
And those,
Yeah, be careful with this.
yeah, that'll burn.
С этим надо очень осторожно, потому что
Да.
The multi-junction cells in the laboratory convert up to 45%
And now
in the
I think they're
laboratory.
at 47 peak. But they're able to make cells that can do up to 47%. So you
In the
could,
lab.
yeah, in the lab, you could make a much more efficient system now than because this was 2010, time frame. So it's been quite a few years. But I think the risk of it, or when you compare the complexity of this to just a simple fixed system.
This is an old project.
Ну, это проект старый.
It's like the third leg of the university system. So this is what's called the Desert Research Institute. Yeah. So Nevada has three parts of its university. University of Nevada, Las Vegas, University of Nevada, Reno, and the Desert Research Institute. So we worked on several zero energy projects, high efficient house projects. So I did a second place home in 2013. I did one for another university in 2015. I did a first place in energy home in 2017, and also first place in innovation. And then 2020, I did third place home. You know, every house should have solar on it. That would be my hope, but I'm not in charge of any of that. I just do the research. But the government is friendly towards it. The university or the utilities are looking for that. It's certainly accepted more than it was 20 years ago. So a lot of homes are getting solar, photovoltaics, energy efficient appliances, lighting. It's moving in the right direction. Could it move faster? Yes. I've got a couple of proposals that I need to finish writing. I have a big proposal that I hear about in November on whether we get it or not. And then I have 4 projects that, well, a couple of them I'll be finishing up and a couple of them I'll be midpoint on. So I've got a lot of work going into the end of the year.